So what does that mean for universities who have geared their, themselves, their structure, their programs, their offerings around this assumption that there are these monolithic, stackable at some level, but these very large degrees, and that's good enough?
Yeah, I look, it's been happening, and most analysts and most people that assess data at a university, whether they're in finance or insights or marketing, will be able to tell you that they've seen sort of changes happening over time. I think the greatest disruption will come outside of the traditional undergraduate area. I think that's still relatively safe for a period of time. And I would hope so. I think there's just so much that sort of 18 to 22-year-olds can get from being at a university and traveling and learning and embracing, that sets them up for life. I think the great disruption will happen beyond that in the lifelong learning area, that this acknowledgement that a degree is the only passport to skills and employment, if you want to work in certain professional areas, is somewhat flawed. I will caveat that by saying, like everyone, right, I want my doctor to have got more than a LinkedIn badge. I want my physiotherapist to have done more than an app. Yeah. But I think that's straightforward. I think even in those areas, and this is a lot of work we're doing around, the embracing of technology to support clinical healthcare skills can help. There's still obviously an extreme acknowledgement that we want people to be able to operate in a physical hospital or private healthcare center as well. But coming back to it, yes, the need for a diversity of offering to a really diverse audience is critical, and that's, I think, the bit that we've probably lost as a sector, is this bundling of everyone non-undergraduate into one thing. Well, they're a postgraduate and they're one audience, and they want an MBA, and here's how we'll get it to them, and they want the greatest lecturers to be able to tell them all about it. We have students from 100 countries around the world who have been learning with us for 9 years across multiple different disciplinary areas. We can tell you how nurse unit managers learn entirely differently to aspiring fintech students. The time of day they learn, the amount of content they need in order to be able to feel confident in something, the amount of support they need from an instructor or a facilitator, and what that support is and what that type of feedback is they're looking for, and how that will then feed into them being able to engage and network with other students, which then leads into group work and problem solving and group things. So we have all of these data and insights, and I think universities in a lot of ways have these data and insights too. And I think back to when we first met, Dan, and it was around utilizing the mountains of data and insights and pieces of information that universities have, and helping them be able to do something with it much easier. I think that's the starting point, is well, who are our audience and how are they learning, and what do our professions need and want, and how do we create something for them that aligns better to that than the sort of historic assumption we may have had.
Brilliant. Thanks.